And we're live, Jaglones. Hey, I hope you're ready tonight. I've been wanting to do this episode for a little under 3 years now. I didn't know Cory Allen existed then, but I've wanted to talk about mantises for a while, and he really seems to be the guy in our conversations the last couple of weeks. So, welcome to everybody. Who we got? Pelly, Doug. I saw Don here, Beetle guy. Skinky Sandy has she's got a migraine tonight, so let's just put out some happy thoughts for her. Bugs and Beings. All right. Chris H. Bugs and Beings. I think I've seen you here before. Got some new people. Pelly. Dope Kittens. Dope Critters. Dope Critters. All right. I see my glasses. I need new glasses. It's not Dope Kittens. Maybe we should do an episode on that. We're going to try a little new format today. We're going to put our focus on the interview. We are definitely going to still have fun, but not the goofy food stuff, not the distractions. We're going to try to stay on topic, not too many tangents that are unrelated. Biggs is here too. All right, lots of Chris's in the house. So special thanks again to my Patreons, all 7 of you. You're awesome people. I really appreciate it, and it really helps the channel to grow and do stuff. Who's this? Catalant? There's a new face. They must be here for Cory. So Cory's already teaching me stuff. I actually did research tonight. There's something else new that we're going to try. And we're going to have some formatted questions for everyone that I'm going to use on every guest in the future. And maybe come up with a couple more. And I formatted questions specifically for Cory. So, without further ado, let's bring him on. And his 13-year-old son I won't name him unless Cory wants to, but he's going to be our cameraman today. So Cory even brought a cameraman. This is a professional, people. So let's show some respect. All right. Cory, welcome to the show.
What up?
You're already prepared with a mantis out and everything. This is a good guest, my friends. This is a good guest. Russ and Wally, I hope you're taking notes.
Yes, I was very excited for this one.
What is this? What is this? Oh, for the episode or for this mantis?
For the episode, but this mantis is a spiny flower.
Excellent, excellent. I really wish these cameras could pick up something that's that delicate. Now, Cory, I have a link to your Facebook group, and there's a lot of great pictures there, guys. It's already in the description. It's like I'm trying to do stuff this episode. Right. If we don't see any good pictures tonight, or good video tonight, there's amazing pictures that Cory and his friends have taken, and group members in the group on Facebook below. We'll have another couple links in there as well later, but for now, mostly it's going to be like Instagram and whatever. Spiny flower mantis. Tell me about those guys. Like, where are they from?
The spiny flower mantis, that one is from, it's native to the southern and eastern Africa.
Okay.
So, like, for their care-wise, they prefer 77 degrees to, like, 86 degrees.
Stay like it warm. Okay.
Yes. So, right now, with it being 74 degrees in here, their metabolism's going a little bit slower. So, they're growing a little bit slower, actually.
Okay.
Which is actually a plus. So, if you do get a mantis, it's recommended, at least by me, to keep it down to the lower end of the spectrum for their temperature range, so they can last for you a lot longer.
That's my biggest problem with mantises is most of them you get about a year and a half, and they're so cool that I get attached. They have so much personality and so much, I don't know, they're like a smart insect to me. It's like jumping spiders, the same thing. It's a bug that looks back. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like there's something behind those eyes other than, well, mostly it's probably, can I eat that when it's looking at you? Oh my gosh, that's really orange. What is this?
So this one is just a ghost. So she's just a real light tannish. She has got a kind of an orangish brown.
She looks like she's either about to drop an ooth or she ate a whole hornworm by herself.
So this one, She actually is more towards the end of her life, and I fed her by mistake when she was going to get ready to lay, and
Okay.
she's actually gravid, so uh,
Okay.
which is not a good thing, but she's been around still like this for at least 2 months or so.
Okay.
Um, so that was my mistake. I was feeding everybody, and I just gave her food when I wasn't supposed to, and but she still drinks, she still eats a little
Hey,
bit. So she's obviously pooping because she eats. She just is not laying her eggs. She's not laying her eggs at all. So
that's wild. I've never had that problem keeping mantises. Like I said, I've only done it a little bit, but usually they're on deck. That's weird. She's gorgeous though. That is. Can you get her a little closer to the camera?
here, I'll
Maybe we can
get her
try
on
to.
the light. Get her in the light.
Well, that's like a Grateful Dead bug shirt. That's awesome. There you go. We can get some of that good. I love their legs. Like I love everything about a mantis. About the ghosts, especially. They have that cool like dead leaf head. Are they more a leaf litter species or are they
Yeah, this is a
arboreal?
dead. This is the dead leaf
Okay.
species. So they'll be up in the hanging upside down. So
So you have a male named Freddy, I assume.
they actually ate the male. So
Oh,
I
they
didn't.
ate the male?
Yeah, I didn't get to him in time.
Well, it happens. I mean, that's par for the course. That's the only problem with keeping them in captivity is there's not anywhere for the male to go really to get away.
Right, right.
So now everybody's excited about all these cups that you have. So you said earlier you have like 250 mantises here,
Yes, here right now,
roughly.
roughly. So right now I have South African Kirsteni. I have Athens, which is Budwing. Um, we have Spiny Flower Walbergi, um, Ghost, and which Ghost we actually have three different shades. We have brown, like a dark brown, um, a tan, and actually green. Let's see if I can find a good green one real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Aftec, I think all female mantises will try to eat the male if they can, if he's not quick. Oh, who is that? Is that like an L3, L4?
She's probably a 4. Here, let me put a piece of paper behind her.
I have to say, with mantises, like I hate the adult form as compared to like from the middle up. As soon as they get their wings, it changes their whole. Like
Um,
her holding that body up, her abdomen up against her back. It's just such a cool look.
so you can't really tell the color in that one, but we got green ones of those. Dead leaf. Um, giant Asian. A little bit of a wide variety of all different like colors and shades. So just, I mean, it just depends on really what people are looking for. I got some that are way more aggressive towards prey. Some that'll just jump right out on your hand and chill. Uh, it really just really just depends on where they come from. I'm for the most part, it seems like to me, a lot of my African species seem to be more docile for the most part.
Okay.
Um, except my giant Asian compared to my giant Asian. Now I only keep more towards the easier species, we'll say.
Okay.
Um, where my main factor is just going to depend on some temperature between like So ghosts can actually go down to 65 degrees.
Oh
Um,
wow, that's like room temperature style.
right, right. So I recommend them for your beginner, definitely, because also they can have a down to a 40% humidity, which our typical, like here in Wisconsin, is roughly like 30. So it's not far off if you miss a day of giving them a drink or two. It's not
Yeah,
gonna, it shouldn't kill them.
you should
Like
still give them a drink every day, guys. You should still
I,
do it.
yep, I do every day because I'm here. But there's sometimes I do miss a day because I'm out of town. But I there was one a giant Asian. Actually, it fell off the shelf, and
Okay.
it was on the floor for about 5 days before I noticed it, and it was perfectly fine. Uh, Water, it took a drink, yeah, it ate, and it was perfectly fine. So
Back to normal.
right,
One of our dope critters wants to know if you think they would eat isopods. Have you seen them eat isopods?
most definitely.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but I wanted you to field that question.
Yeah, I actually feed roaches a lot of time. Once these ghosts get to probably the L4 stage. If I don't have a flies that I didn't end up hatching out, which I'll show you what I do there in a second. But
Sure.
uh, I feed them dubia roaches, and a lot of starting at the L4 stage, a lot of them will take probably about a quarter-inch dubia easy. So
Wow. All
they're
right.
pretty prey aggressive. I even just tried it out with an L3 Venosa, a golden mantis, and it took it. I was surprised. I just was messing around, but so I found out those are very prey aggressive. So now when I go to I don't have I have some larvae in here right now, but I hatch blue bottle fly larvae out in a mesh uh,
Yeah, yeah.
cube
One of those little,
under.
like a
Uh,
pop-up container. Yeah.
yeah, they kind of look like the butterfly enclosures, but the exception is they come with this sleeve on it.
Okay.
So then I can just take the clip, even though it has a drawstring, flies and maggots can still find their way out. So you twist that up, you clip it up, then you don't have nothing escape.
Yeah, you're good to go.
So with the sleeve, you can reach in there if you need to do any maintenance. If you need to do any maintenance, so like in here, I have probably 50 maggots.
Okay.
They've actually encased now. In here, I keep moist moss, and then you can use to gut load them. You can use like uh, chicken flavored cat food
Okay.
or some sort of protein source like that. Uh, so I keep the moss moist for them to get a drink. So now when it comes to getting them out of there, I got this handy vacuum. I got this handy vacuum off of Amazon, and you can just stick it in the hole,
Yeah.
and you can just get one fly at a time if you want for the most part, unless you got a tent really full of flies. And then I just put my hand over it, and then I pop it in, tap it off into the cup. Now,
Okay.
mind you, before I do any of this, with my fly container, right now I can just throw it outside for a few minutes to slow the flies down, but it's really advisable to put them in the refrigerator somehow if you can make room for your tent for 10 minutes or something.
Sure.
Uh, so that's really that's a really good thing for them for your flying for the ones that like flying. But I've noticed if you start them out on roaches um, pretty young, they will tolerate eating roaches for most of their life, um, as long as they catch them or see them. You might have to coax them a little bit.
Sure,
Uh,
sure.
so like for shows, since we do all these different species, um, I actually buy all these cards from here. Get over here a little bit. I buy all these cards from exotic. Sorry, I don't mean to advertise that.
You can put your prices on there. That's fine. That's fine.
I buy all these cards from Exotic Pet Decor,
Okay.
um, and it's it shows all your temperatures, all your lifespans for the most part, what they eat, everything, uh, which helps customers a lot.
Is that panther? Is that one that I was going to ask if you kept any of those that are like ground species that chase their prey down?
So this one it lays more flat on the stick like that.
Sure.
I do not have any adult ones, but I have heard the adult ones can be quite aggressive. Um, is why it's giving you more. It's more of an advanced species. That one is more an advanced species.
Yeah, yeah, because I heard they're fast too.
Yeah.
Those
Uh,
ground huggers. There's an African one that's like a desert species that like they're super. They remind me of tiger beetles. I wish I had written it down, but they just chase their prey down and tackle it basically. That would be cool to see the adult panther taking them down. How big do those get?
um, that one. Oh gosh, I, I, I don't even know on that one. I'm thinking that one's about like 3.5 inches. That's in my
Okay,
other note. Sorry, that one's in my other notes.
that's
It
a
says
okay.
50
No worries.
millimeters, but I don't know how to transfer millimeters into inches right off the top of my head.
Beetle guy will do it for you. Beetle guy's here. He's firing up his Google right now.
50
Um,
millimeters is what they're
50 millimeters, guys. Guys, we need some likes. Let's do a like spike. Come on. What are you doing? Um, so I've got some questions, some
All right.
pre-written questions for you. How many species are you keeping right now? I know we've got like 250 specimens, but how many species?
I have Venosa, Athens, Budwing, Ghost, Spiny Flower, Giant Asian, Giant African, Majuscula, which is Giant Rainforest, um, and Desiccata, which is Deadly. So I
That's
think,
a great. Desiccata is a great Latin name for that, like a desiccated leaf. That's really
yep,
good.
and they're in the Deadleaf family. So that one. So I think that was I think that's 9 species.
All
Right.
right, that's more than you told me. Look at you.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a little jealous. A of the time that you must have to put into them, or the dedication at least. And mantises are just so dope.
So I'd
How
like
long?
to throw a shout out on
Yeah.
my wife on that. She goes through and makes sure these are watered if I don't get a chance. She makes sure they're good to go pretty much every day for me. So
Okay. Awesome. That's a good wife. My wife, she doesn't even come down in the basement anymore. She knows there's all kinds of shit. Um, she started watching some episodes, and that's how she found out I have a tarantula. And now we had a fight about that. Uh, I was specifically not allowed to get one, and I was like, she doesn't come down here anyway. So, yeah, she found out from watching the show, and then she found out that all of you knew, and she didn't. Is this two ghosts? No, that's just one ghost. It looked like two for a second.
so that's actually a molt.
I was right. It's a ghost of a ghost. That's kind of awesome.
It was just hanging there, so I decided to show you that one. It's a male.
So now, how long have you been keeping mantises, mantids?
I actually, uh, probably just right on a year right now, actually.
Just a
Uh,
year?
yeah, just a year. Just a year for me.
Have you
Uh,
even had to go through the tragedy of a mantis death?
oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
Okay, all
oh yeah,
right.
definitely.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I do. I've done my own breeding projects. I've bought older stuff to do breeding. So yeah, I've had to do the death thing.
oh, it's I didn't know I could get that attached to a bug. Um, they're just so awesome. So over a year, and what's your favorite mantis, and why is it the orchid mantis?
Actually, it's not the orchid mantis.
I
For the
assumed.
fact is, I am a easy care guy. I have all this stuff, so I need to find a. I need to keep more of the easier stuff. I would per se. So I would have to say my favorite is it's got to be the it's got to be the ghost. Um, just because of how friendly they are. Just that sway dance literally almost the whole time you're holding them.
Oh yeah, trying to look like a dead leaf, kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
That chill. This move here.
Yeah, I literally yeah, and these ladies that I have a couple full grown adults here left. They they come to the show with me, and I get them out. They sit on their enclosure the whole entire show. Like
Wow.
I don't have to worry about them, so they're just very chill.
So
I
are you
guess.
gonna get to be like the bearded dragon keepers at the show and make them like tiny hoodies that you put on them? And
No,
I don't know if
but there is people that will make blinders for the mantis. Um,
really.
so I guess we can go off to talk about breeding a little bit. I only have done, uh, I did spiny flower, um, unsuccessfully, but I did it. Well, okay, I guess I can't say I did it. I attempted to do it. Uh, so with
Okay.
that one she was aggressive. Both females I had to both males. Um, they you have to pretty much distract the female with food, and hopefully the male jumps on at that point. Um, Now there's people that will actually make blinders so the female can't even see the male coming. Um,
That's that seems unfair a little bit. Like I feel like she should have some say in it a little bit, but that's I'm a human. I'm humanizing it, but I feel like in the wild, the female definitely runs the show and is like, all right, or like, yeah, come on in, but I'm gonna kill you.
right, right.
Um, that's too funny, little blinders. Now I was reading today actually because I was like I said I was studying a little bit. They did a study to see how they see, like how the mantises actually visualize things, and so they made tiny glasses to put on the mantis, the mantis that they did the study on, and then somehow these glasses transmitted the view to their computer. So I was like, that is the craziest. So like Google Glass for mantids, and they're one of the few insects that aren't a spider that have like depth perception basically, and they've got really awesome depth perception. So the blinders, I imagine she had to be super agitated with those on.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't know. I've I've only seen a couple of videos. You can actually YouTube that. Actually, look it up.
Mantis blinders. Yeah, I definitely want to find a link and put it in here.
Hmm.
Beetle guy, I don't think they're compound eyes because they actually have a pupil. That black spot that's in their eye it's a pseudo pupil. Um, that came from my research too. Look, guys, I'm knowing stuff before the show starts, except besides them having all mantises are Catholic. I know that. Uh, I think they're just so cool. and the adaptations that they have, like you have 9 species, and I bet they're all so different in visually that let alone like behaviors and stuff that they do.
Oh, definitely. Going to water them. Some will be, they'll just stay and let you spray. When I feed them, some will just let their prey come to them, or some will just jump right after it. It's not even that they're hungry; it's just that they're that prey aggressive.
So wild. Now, when you are going to breeding, I know we were talking about breeding when I totally jumped ship and stayed in the same topic. I think kudos to me. When you're breeding, is there a way, like, do you guys have, I see you have the one in the Zilla thing. You showed me the ghost there. And we talked about, guys, if you've never kept a mantis before, you can make them the most beautiful enclosure ever, and they're just going to hang from the ceiling. I don't think they care what their enclosure looks like whatsoever. There she is. I guess she's on the, is that her on the back wall? No, that's her on the ceiling. There she is.
Up there.
Yeah. I saw that thing on the back wall. That must be another piece of wood.
Another beautiful.
So if you have 2 of those, like one with the male and one with the female, could you set them next to each other so they could see each other but not have access? Or do you think that's a good, have you tried that?
So I know that I don't know about that. No, I have not tried that. I don't know. I noticed even I keep these guys next to each other usually.
Sure.
Even when they see each other, they'll sit there and start swaying around like super fast.
Okay, so they're clearly agitated.
Yeah. So, and they're females, and then I mean they're supposed to be communal, so I don't know.
I've heard that's you need a lot of space for that. I haven't really talked to anybody who's done it on a real successful basis as they get to adults. Like you said, you have a bunch in one of those pop-up things that are young.
Yep. So now, breeding wise, I'm hoping the camera picks these up good.
Oh God, you all right?
Let's see. Here, come closer. Oh yeah. So there's a Uthaka right here.
Okay.
See the difference in that tree branch?
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah. 1 second.
Okay, we're here. We'll wait for you. No electrical fires. That's the problem I have if I try to even move in here. It's like a catastrophe. I almost took down this whole shelf unit with my small aquariums on it the other day. Actually got me looking at my shrimp. All right.
Okay. I think I got it good now. Okay, so back at it. Oh yeah, we can still see that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that one's a ghost ooth.
Okay.
This one's already hatched. This one hatched about 15. I just want to show you some size comparisons here. Now we got. Let's see if we can see the difference here. We got the Desiccata deadleaf ooth right here.
This looks like a cat turd. All right.
Well, this one looks more like a turd, but
with it being a little blurry, it reminded me of like the alien eggs, like the xenomorph.
Oh yeah. So this one was Majuscula. Now, this one hatches 8. This one hatches. There was 60 in there,
oh my God.
and they're
the same size.
They're the same size. So it just depends on the species, like for what hatches out wise. Let's see.
I love this. I love that you have these like ready to go.
Let's see. This one was Venosa.
So this one's even tinier.
Yeah, that's super
Um,
tiny.
there was 8 that came out of that one, so that was a pretty small one.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you have that on the label? Like how many were out of it?
no, I just remembered.
Okay. I
It's
saw
on
you
the
had
back.
some of them were like labeled and the dates and
Oh,
everything on it.
yeah. So the date on it is when they get hatched, or not. Sorry, not when they get hatched. When they get found in the enclosure.
Okay.
Uh, so potentially the lay date of the ooth. Um, and then a lot of these generally seems right around the 2.5 month mark is when they hatch out.
Okay.
Um, Now you can't really. I don't know if you can be able to pick up this spiny flower one. It's pretty brown. Nah, but this spiny flower one on this stick, she came out this big, but it was infertile.
Okay.
So that one never hatched. Now we'll go back to comparison size here. This one was the giant Asian.
Okay. Okay.
We'll go comparing it back to this dead leaf.
Oh, the giant Asian's like half the size of or the
Yeah.
twice the size of the dead leaf,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. So now this one hatched out probably 150.
Okay.
Size comparison there. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get. Probably won't be able to pick them up much. I'll try and show it here. It's a little dark.
The giant Asians are basically the ones that I don't know where you're at. I'm in Illinois, but I think that's the one that we have
No, we
mostly.
have we have Chinese, which is
Chinese.
invasive.
Okay.
Those are invasive. They're actually like killing off our native species because they're larger than the rest, and
Okay.
they'll like eat birds and everything else. But so if you can kind of see, Bryson, turn your light on real quick. Um, no, that made it worse. Okay, you can kind of see little ant-looking things crawling around on here. There's probably 150 giant Asians in this. It's the larger butterfly enclosure. Um, oh, here we can see a bunch up through that way. If the little ant-looking things. So this is how I keep them communally for a little while. Um, I just dump flies in there, and then I spray in there once a day, just like the rest.
Carrying on without me.
Oh no, you're good.
Sorry. What are we looking at here?
So this was the there's giant Asian in here.
Okay.
There. Well, I
Look
knocked
at
my
all those
cups over.
babies.
I
Oh my
knocked my
god.
cups over, but yeah, this is where there's about 150 giant Asian in here.
Oh my god.
The little ants crawling all over.
So there's so we did find out earlier that 50 millimeters is almost 2 inches.
Okay, okay. Oh,
It's
that's
like
nice.
1.959 or something. So
Still big enough that it's gonna slice your finger a little bit if you make it mad.
oh, it'll jack. Yeah, they even with the tiny ones that I had, I was starting the story before I realized it was 8:30. Um, I still don't. I got to find out what species it was. They were maybe an inch long, full grown, but bright green. They're from Africa, and are those ghosts?
And those are my ghosts. And these
What?
ones are. Oh, here I can get them good and light here. Uh,
Yeah,
oh, you see that green right down that? Can you kind of see that green on that one?
the one right in front.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the camera don't do justice here, but yeah, we got a good green line going in there.
that's awesome.
So this one is just the 12 by 12 enclosure. Um, and there was 25 in there. I took some out for a shipment.
Okay.
So that's probably about the max I would have kept in there. They're in L4 stage right now.
That's not even that big of an enclosure. That's kind of
No.
cool. Like I'm just surprised that they could all fit in there. Like, I'm wondering, because again, the communal ones, I hear there's a couple species that are known now to be communal or tolerate communal living.
Yeah, I had cryptic. I heard they were. I didn't
Yeah.
try it.
That's yeah, I don't know that I would either. It'd be hard for me to risk it to come home and see one eating another, or more to the point, like 4 of them eating one, because they kind of buffet style at that point, like when they're little.
Right.
I had a couple more questions. All right, so now what is like I don't know how to ask this necessarily because we haven't really talked about it. This is getting away from your particular what you have there. What are some of your favorite like adaptations that they have that these mantises have? Oh, there we go. That's a big old roach.
Sorry, they were out. I just had to show them real quick. They're not normally out for me right now.
Okay. All right. It looks like I'm back.
Yeah, we're back.
My internet is crap tonight. I'm going to blame that Elon Musk Skynet or whatever the hell he calls it. So what's one of your favorite adaptations that these guys have? Like, not necessarily yours, but like out of all mantids, they've got so many different adaptations to deal with different biomes and different prey items that they take, different camouflage techniques.
Gosh, it's just whatever I see in the varieties of what I keep, so much different stuff. Even just adapting in their cup wise.
Okay.
All right, you back again?
Yeah, I haven't had this happen in a long time. This is like the first time in months. But my phone wasn't taking calls today either, so it wouldn't let me call in or out. So let's see. Yeah, sorry about that. This hasn't happened in months. Yeah, there's so much diversity and so much. They evolved to fit so many niches. It's just wild to me to see.
The biggest thing, I guess, I love how they've adapted to be so camouflaged to their surroundings.
The different camouflage adaptations are pretty wild because they take over like trees and ground and mid-level and grass. There's like grass mantises that are essentially carnivorous walking sticks. So there's so many different adaptations that they have, body shapes and sizes, and it's just crazy to me. And they're all basically the same form, right? But like the ghosts have those cool flanges on their legs, those like fans on the joints of their legs. They've got that cool head, and they just look like a crinkled up leaf.
Well, now form though, I've gotten a few different species here wise that like the giraffe that's super long, like torso.
Okay.
That's kind of like a stick. Versus yeah, I do get you. A lot of these do have just a round butt and a camouflage wing, but
they've got the like centaur layout. Like they definitely have that, the 4 legs and then the torso with the regular arms. Well, I hate to call them regular arms. Now, you talked earlier about them kind of opening you up. Have you gotten grabbed by any of your mantises in accident, or?
No. For me, I've mainly just had adult ghosts. They've just pretty much kind of pricked me, but
yeah. Now, do you want to explain to the audience like what are those colored strings in the cups?
Okay. colored strings in the cups. I make these cups so the mantis can live in them versus living in just a tiny little cup like that from like most of your other vendors, because we are a vendor. Um, I like them being comfortable. Even if I'm not selling them, uh, I want them to not just be cramped up in some stinky little cup. So
I hear that. Damn it, Cory! Now I need ghost mantises. Do you see what you did? Oh, look at him doing the dance. He's like, yeah, yeah. Oh, and Justin, my nose is huge. I know. I'm doing the Humpty dance. All right. Yeah, look at him do the sway. He's busting his moves for the camera. I love those little, I don't know what to call them, those little like wings almost on their knees.
I mean, I would consider it some sort of a shield, but yeah, I got you. Yeah. I don't know if you can pull this up in the view. Let's try to, anyways.
Let me see if I can get you in there bigger. Hold on just a second. Here we go. Let's put you as the star of the show here with your bugs. That might help the audience a little bit.
So I don't know if you can tell much on. Okay, from this view, 2 sets of legs are longer than the other 2 sets of legs. Can you kind of notice that?
Oh, the one side? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
It looks like the left side has longer legs.
Right. So actually,
or the right side, I guess.
This guy I saved from cannibalism because I kept him a little bit too long in the tent. And he was actually missing both of those legs, completely gone
on
one side. And this last time when he molted, they halfway grew back. Now the next time when he molts, they should be full size.
I have to applaud your husbandry skills that you kept it alive through a molt, because I imagine for him to get up to someplace to hang to molt had to be super difficult.
Yeah, he pretty much stayed on the lid. I just had to make sure that I was getting water on the lid versus when I spray in there, most of the time it goes on the side of the cup.
Sure.
And then I had to make sure that when I was feeding him a roach, I tipped the cup upside down and make the roach come to him. And
okay.
But yeah, now he's good to go. He walks a little funny, but
if it's a girl, you can name her Eileen.
So that's the risk of being communal, though, if you want to do it. That's one of the most common communal species, and something like that still happens. So
now, communal, what's your recommendation? Because now that I have to have them, I definitely have to have a couple. I have a tank or a setup that's open that's mostly screen. Is that too much? A screen wouldn't do that much good, would it? It'd dry out too fast.
So, well, like I said with the ghost, they can be down to 40% humidity. So if you're going to be around to give them a mist once a day or at least every other day, you should be good to go. If you have to miss 2 days, you honestly should still be fine, because even these guys in here, I do them every couple days.
Okay.
Just because I leave some substrate in here with a little bit of moisture in that. So
yeah, in this one you could essentially totally use coco coir, because it's just going to absorb the moisture and they don't utilize it whatsoever.
Right. With coco coir, though, I mean, with anything, you just need to make sure you have proper ventilation. Because they have really sensitive lungs.
Okay. I never thought that, but that makes sense.
I did make these cups one time for spiny flowers, and I put some coco coir in there that was a little bit too moist yet.
Okay.
And the fumes off of it actually made one of them like faint.
Oh God.
Yeah, it looked like it was dead, and I took it out, and it got some fresh air, and it perked right back up.
Sounds like the perfume on my new coworker. Sonda, if you're watching this, you should know better. So just be careful of that. So now in this other cup that you just passed, can you pan back to your right? I'm guessing it's your right. Is that sphagnum at the bottom?
Yes. Okay.
And
So
that's
this
an
is
ooth in
how.
there.
Yep. This is how I hatch out my ooths. I put them in a 32 ounce. I hot glue the ooth to the lid
Okay.
of a 32 ounce deli cup. Then I just throw some spag moss in there. Keep that moist, and then I give this a mist, the cup itself, every other day or so, just to keep the humidity up. And then about 2 months later, they'll be crawling around in there. The first day, I don't really do anything with them once they come out. The second day, I'll mist in there. I'll pop their little cork. I'll mist in there. Third day, then that's when I'll give them their first feeding. Some other people do it different, but that's just what I do.
What are you giving them at that age? Are you giving them? Because I was going to ask you about like what you have so many different species at so many different levels of growth. What are your foods that you're using? Like you have to use a crazy amount of different foods. Yeah.
So for the most part, I start them out for their first, usually just feeding or two with Malinastar fruit flies.
Okay.
And then after that, they're usually prey eager enough to go after a haughty fruit fly.
Okay.
So then because then I gotta feed less flies. I just give them a couple of those versus 4 Malinasters or whatever. So
Okay.
now once I get up to the ghosts that are like L4 stage, if they're in the tent yet, I'll just dump a massive amount of fruit flies in there. But if they're in the cup, I'll either use a fly. I'll use dubia roaches. Pretty much any kind. I have so many different kind of roaches.
Okay.
So I pretty much just grab a roach and throw it in there.
See, I just assumed you would use like red runners or something along those lines.
That is the one species that my wife says I can't keep, so I don't keep. I don't keep those. I keep shadows, orange head, ivories, question mark, death heads,
Okay, you keep the pretty ones.
mimic black beetles,
Oh man,
few different kind of hissers, dubia, and discoid.
my hissers are super dwindling because they're becoming ant food. So I think I have a dozen left, maybe, including like babies. Now, I was also reading about the time period where nymphs, not nymphs, but roaches and mantids split off from roaches at some point in the evolutionary. Like roaches apparently were one of the first true insects, and then mantises kind of came out of that, which is kind of cool. And how they split, like, so they have them. I thought it was convergent evolution, but apparently their deep ancestor was around when Africa and South America were together. And then when it split, they had the two populations obviously to split off. I think that was in the Cretaceous, not the Cretaceous, it was before that. But yeah, so that's how we got. I assumed that they just showed up, like Africa just evolved mantises and South America just evolved mantises, but I was super wrong. Look at that. That's not an adult yet, is it?
Yeah, that one's adult. So these both are about to the end of their life. Like I said, ghost typical lifespan's about a year, but I've kept these guys cooler. So they're both about 14 months. So we've passed the year mark. So
that's a good run. I think the most I got was 18 months out of a Chinese. I know that they're invasive. That's why I don't really, if I take one out of the wild, I don't care. Usually it's a female anyway. But yeah, they 18 months I think I got out of her I got her when she was tiny, and that was a special relationship. But these guys, it just kills me because they have a true neck, which is unique in insects, which I think is what gives them a lot of their credit for having a personality. Um, Apparently, the studies I read today, they're not really smarter than any other insect, but that neck gives them that like head cock, like what are you thinking? Like they're questioning you, right?
Right.
But they're just so cool. The different adaptations that they've come up with, and they're so different from anything else. Now, did you say you have some of these giraffes, or you just?
Actually, I just sent my last giraffe out on a breeding collab out to California. So.
Oh wow, okay. I'm hearing more and more about those breeding projects between keepers lately, and that's really encouraging. Oh, now
Yeah.
my audience is just talking about roaches. All right, they're off. They're off to the races. You said roaches, and they're like. And Russ from Aquarium Max is here and is really admiring your collection.
I do want to show a quick little video, or demonstration, sorry, of the fruit fly feeding. Because I know so many people have so many questions about how I feed fruit flies so easily to all these different cups.
Okay, I definitely had the question.
All right, so I buy a handy dandy ketchup bottle, funnel. All right.
Guys, we're about to see some cool stuff. This is the steampunk version. And you're doing fruit flies on carpet. God bless you.
Because they don't go nowhere. All right.
Also, the carpet's better for them.
Yeah. All right. I can just grab them and or just kill them quick and vacuum them up. Okay. So fruit fly culture. Knock them off the lid.
Gotcha.
This one's really full. Okay. Tap them into your funnel.
Smack that lid back on.
Smack that lid back on quick.
That is like keeping it one-handed. Using one hand for each major thing is really hard. Okay, so you have a bunch in there. I have
probably 50 flies in here already. Okay.
Okay.
So now, all right, stand up here, Greg.
I think I see where this is going. Unless you put some Diet Coke and a Mentos in there, I think I see where this is going.
Now I can just pop the top. Pop this in here.
Now you don't give it a little squeeze at all. Is that what you were doing there, or are you just tapping it?
I tap it because generally if I go to squeeze it, too many flies will come out. Tapping it, you can do a population control. So it was easy as that. I got like 4 or 5 flies in there right now for that little man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's like a couple days for him probably, right?
Now, yeah, that'll be its meal for the few days.
I used to like when they would get, my tiny adults would get 1 fly in each arm somehow, and then you'd see them just like dip between, like jump, 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 jump.
Right. What I do at that time. So yeah, that's how I do that. I did get the idea from somebody else. So I added the funnel. That makes everything so much easier. I didn't get one single fly just out during any of that. I know I only just fed one, but
that's like a friggin' magic trick. But that's like a friggin' magic trick what you just did there. Like, yeah, you need a sequin vest or something when you do that on camera. Ta-da! Like, yeah. I don't know how you got no escapes.
So, yeah, so that's the biggest question I get. I did make a little YouTube video of that. If you want to post, if you want to link that post, that'd be cool.
Yeah, send me the link to that video. I'll put it in the description.
All right.
That's awesome. That's always good. So you feed roach nymphs out at whatever colony you have, or you mostly do dubias?
I mostly do dubia because I probably got like 10,000 of those. But
Oh, okay, it's a
if
fair
I'm
number.
in here, like packing for shows and going through roaches, and there's too many here, I'll feed them off for that meal.
What are you doing with your adult dubias then? I know I'm off topic a little bit, but what do you do with the adults? What eats those in your house?
I have, I rescued one bearded dragon, and then my son has a bearded dragon,
Okay.
and then so they all go to the bearded dragons.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say like they're taken care of. Never mind.
Yeah. And then,
I get it. I get it.
Also tarantulas. We do tarantulas. So
Don't tell my wife. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna ask you? Do your guys ever do any threat displays? Do you ever see any threat displays from them?
The spiny flower is the biggest. The biggest one to do that.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get it to.
Oh, they'll just do it? Like.
Yeah, just to. No, that one wants to crawl up on my finger, but.
You're too good at your job.
Yeah, like. That's how social of a.
That's
just
awesome.
crawled right up there.
Oh, man. I think I'm free. Oh, no. Yeah, see, the ones that I had, the adults were just a little bit bigger than that, maybe twice that size. Not quite. That's the only mantis bite I ever got, is I had an old female that was blind that I was hand feeding, and she grabbed my finger instead. They just started chowing down. So trying to get her off of me without killing her was like the hardest thing ever. I just can't believe. Oh, Cory has posted some pretty dope videos of them eating. That's Jill Thompson. You must have brought her. I don't remember that name. That's got to be one of your people. Awesome. And then who's this? Ellie? What? Effie Chatskadadankis.
What's
I'm not
up,
even gonna try that.
What's up, Joe?
Effie, I'm known to butcher names if you haven't been here before. You can ask Vika Bubbles about that. Let's see. What other questions did I have? You have your little misters. You have your great cups with the are they pipe cleaners or is it something else you put in there?
Yeah, pipe cleaners.
Okay.
I used to use the stuff for fruit fly cups.
Okay.
But it tends to fall down eventually.
Yeah.
So I've gone away from that.
I've seen people kind of glue it to the lid as well. But that seems like
We don't hear you, though. We lost your mic.
There we go. I think I'm back. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
It's showing me my neighbors. I got to ask my neighbor for his password. People want to see your shirt. They've only caught glimpses of it. So it looks like Grateful Dead, but it is not. That's pretty awesome. Those are some great silhouettes on there. See, I'd be the guy at the show at your table just staring at your shirt while you're trying to talk to somebody. Like literally 6 inches away. Like, oh, what else is on here? I've got zero chill. So where are you at? What's your locality?
I'm in Monroe, Wisconsin.
Okay, that's not too far. Are you going to make it out to NARBC this March?
Not to vend, just to go buy stuff.
Yeah, I'll be there too. I'll be there on Sunday, I think. Beetle guys got to go. Yeah, so we're pretty close to wrapping it up, I think. Does anybody have any questions in the audience that we didn't cover yet? They love your shirt, by the way.
Thanks.
So, where did you get that? What is that from? Did you design that?
No, actually, Aloha Creations on Instagram created this logo, but
Okay.
we recently got a new one done by Cowabunga Girl from Instagram, and
Okay.
that one is going to be our permanent logo. I just getting the sign made up and everything. So
awesome, man. That's a big deal. I don't see any questions coming in now. Oh, what's the best tasting mantis? Sorry, that's just he wants to eat everything, or wants me to eat everything specifically. I don't know that anyone. If you ever ate a mantis, I don't want to know you. So just unsubscribe and see your way out. No one should be eating mantises, even ones that died of natural causes. Oh, what is this guy? That is not a ghost.
No, so this one's a giant Asian.
That was my guess. What's he, like an L3, L4?
This one's 4, I would say. Sorry, I don't mean to flip you guys up.
Yeah, we get it. See, that's the classic. That's like the classic mantis. There's a lot of those that are that, not generic, but you know what I'm saying, like the standard model.
Right.
Yeah,
a lot of people like this one.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk trash about the standard ones. They're majestic. But there's so many cool adaptations that these guys have. It just is so crazy. Between them and spiders, I don't think there's anything else that's got such variance in adaptation. Because they've got to run that risk, right? Like every time they go to get food, they could be food.
Right.
Oh, wait. How wet do you keep the sphagnum moss in the cups when you're hatching ooths?
Where I can see, like, all the moss itself is wet. Like not drenched, but, like, it's
wet. Okay.
It's wet.
A little more than, like, a wrung-out washcloth, kind of.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. About right there. Yeah, you could squeeze probably a little bit out, but it's not saturated at all whatsoever.
That's some wet ass sphagnum. Okay, I got you. And then Luch wants to know what's your favorite. I know we covered that a little bit, so the pressure's off on that question.
The ghost is the absolute favorite.
Oh, absolute. Now, guys, pre-show, he had a really hard time with this question.
No, it's gonna be the absolute favorite.
Maybe you just didn't want to go that quick and answer me that quickly.
Oh, here's one. See if I can. I don't know if you can pick up colors in this one or not.
That one, the glimpse I saw of it looks pretty green. That is pretty green. Yes. What is this guy?
This one is a rainforest. It's an ex-molt. You can't pick it up in this camera view, but it's an ex-molt. The raptors, the underneath of its arms will turn really, really red. And it's a giant rainforest. Something we didn't completely cover, lifespan wise.
Yeah.
It really, I haven't found like specific region, size, or anything like that matters. I got some smaller ones that only are going to be like 2.5, 3 inches that will live about 18 months versus some are only going to live like 8 to 10 months. Then we go to the bigger species. Most of those seem like they're going to, that I've came across, have a longer lifespan. All your, like the giant rainforest, giant Asian, those all are going to be about 20 months to 2-year lifespan. So,
Okay. That's so sad. Like mantises, octopus, All the coolest animals on the planet have the shortest lifespan. It's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so sad. I noticed this one ghost, her butt was hanging a little bit over to the side of the other day, so she's about ready to retire. Most of them actually we can see the red on this one maybe. I don't know. Can you zoom in on that at all?
Like on the thorax or on the abdomen?
On the raptors here themselves.
Oh, okay. I did not know they were called raptors. That is awesome. I just call them nutcrackers because that's what they remind me of. There, yeah, you can see it a little bit. There's like a hue to it. He's doing this way too.
That'll get really red. It's a really neat species. These guys are pretty social. A lot of the species are social. Even the aggressive ones, once you do get them out,
yeah,
for the most part, are handleable unless they're hungry.
Do they get aggressive with you when they're hungry, or they get like, where they get like skittish, kind of, or
yeah, it seems
agitated,
like it's more threat posed, agitated.
Yeah. Now, who is this? Dope Critters wants to know if you ever fed them a pinky.
I personally have not. So I've just gotten into breeding crested geckos. If I have any still ones, and I have a large enough mantis, I definitely will go that route versus just letting it go to waste.
Sure.
But no, I have not done it yet.
Because of their lifespan, do they only produce one ootheca?
No. So a lot of the species, even if they aren't fertile, they'll still lay oothecas. But again, it's just going to depend on the species and everything. But I specifically do ghost since I've started. They generally lay about 6 ooths.
Okay.
This one that's 14 months, she's probably laid 8 ooths, but only 2 of them have been fertile. So she's just been more of a pet for me.
You could do a lot worse for pets. Yeah, I do notice that they lay a lot of ooths, and I've seen when I had my smaller species that the more they lay, the less productive the ooths are. Like if they lay 4, the 4th one has like hardly any babies compared to the first one.
Right.
That's my experience with one species. So I'm sure your mileage varies on all the different species, but
well, for that giant Asian, I had the ooth right before that also, and there was 250 in that one versus this one only had 150.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's a solid assumption. Yeah, I almost feel like some of them that they lay, because they lay them in such quick succession, are kind of like dummies almost for any kind of a whatever would eat the ooth. I'm sure something eats it if it finds it, right?
I would think so. They could get some sort of nutrient out of it, I would assume.
Well, it's chock full of 250 mantis eggs, like for sure.
Yeah.
If you guys can find a video of an ooth hatching, it's one of the creepiest, awesome things you'll ever see. It's so wild to see 100 baby mantises pour out of this thing and hang there for a little while till they harden and then start running around and checking out the world. So we got lifespan, we got feeding, we got moisture, we got do your homework on the specific species that you're going to get. Do you have care sheets at all with your mantises, or do you just open yourself up to conversations?
Well, so I keep those cards on the table for the most part.
Sure.
And people take pictures of them if I can't get to them or miss anything that they've asked.
Okay.
But no, I don't specifically print out papers yet.
No, that's
But yeah,
fair.
that's a good idea. Thanks for whoever.
Oh, I was just asking.
Oh, you. Okay, yeah. That's a
That
good
was.
idea. So.
Or I was thinking even to put it on your, get business cards with the Facebook page that you have on it and put it up as a pinned topics.
Oh, yeah.
That'll save a tree
Oh, for sure.
and a lot of work. So it's one more thing for you to not have to remember to go to the show.
Yeah.
So, what is this? How long does it take for an ooth to hatch once the first one starts hatching?
It just depends on species again. Some will be out in a couple hours. Some it's been like 8 hours. But let's see if we can get a. Now I don't know the specific name of this because my breeder gave it to me for free. But
Okay.
that little bitty dot, that black thing right there.
Yeah.
This
That's an
one
ooth?
actually, yes, this one actually is a ooth, and once it starts hatching, it can still take up to it only hatches one at a time, and they can still pop out 7 months later out of the same ooth.
Oh God. Okay.
So it just depends on species.
7 months later on that tiny little
ooth. So this is a hopeful project that hopefully it comes out. I don't remember what kind it is, but
So you have one come out, you separate it. A week later, another one comes out, you separate it.
Or a month later, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like
fall, I don't imagine there are going to be too many in it.
Well, in that first one, that first generation has got to be like, oh, cool lunch. Oh, look at this. Like, yeah, you'd have to separate it immediately.
Yeah.
Because once they harden and get active, like that's when they already start looking for meals, basically.
Yeah, and then if another one comes out, boom.
That's hilarious. Oh, look at this soft, squishy lunch that I got. Chomp. That's so cool. Yeah, it definitely depends. I've noticed, at least with the ones that I've had lately, the Chinese, when I find an ooth, they hatch in it seems like an hour. They just pour out of it.
Yeah.
Such crazy stuff. So last year during the fall, it was early fall, I was walking around the block with my daughter, and I was telling her about mantises, and I hadn't seen one this year, which is weird. And as I'm saying that, I see something flying towards me really erratically. And as I'm looking, it occurs to me, like, this is a mantis flying. And it literally landed on my chest. It's like, okay. And my daughter's like, Daddy, run. She's 5 now, but she was not impressed. So it just walked around on my arm for a little bit and then flew off again. So I don't know. He didn't look very healthy. But mantis encounters at any point are so fun, and to have them in the wild or in captivity, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, what's in there?
See if I can get one out. It's one of the roach species.
Oh, it's your roaches? Okay.
Yeah, just one of them. I want to show you this big one though.
Effie, he said he doesn't know what species that is out of that ooth, particularly. So,
I can get you the info though, Effie. I know who Effie is.
Okay.
All right.
That is one big mama roach. Holy crap.
That's one of those peppered roaches.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
Yeah, I love roaches. I love all the different, they're just like the mantis, different adaptivities and camouflages and everything.
They have like camouflage, anti-camouflage. They've got all kinds of different roaches have so many different adaptations. Yeah, and they're more or less like not to get way off topic, but aren't roaches essentially just scavengers, or are there any that are like savages?
I would just consider them all more just scavengers. I haven't found any savage ones. I'm sure there probably is something out there somewhere, but
yeah. Pelly, we are going to do a roach episode, so a second one essentially, but the first one was kind of all over the place, so I'm going to get Angela from Am I Bugging You back on. to do an episode just about roaches. Yeah, I just think there's so much. I don't know anybody that keeps bugs that keeps like one kind of bug. So, or any arthropod, basically, insects, roly-polies, whatever. They have to have, the hobbies overlap too much. So, like, you start to get a dubia as a feeder, and then you're like, wait, there's dominoes? Wait, there's, whatever that last one was that you said that I already forgot? Because I can't have peppered roaches in my house.
So, I hate to get off, but
Yeah.
I got 1% left, guys. Sorry.
Okay. You said you wanted it a little short, so I see what you did there. So, hey, thanks for coming on before we lose you. Everybody had a great time. We've had a ton of viewers through the whole thing. But I really appreciate it, Cory. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a blast. Get a hold of me for that mantis.
Oh, I'll be calling you, definitely. So, because you're not even that far away, we can meet up or something. Awesome. Or you could bring me one at NARBC or something. We could do a swap there.
Definitely.
So awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on. All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Guys, that might be my new best friend. Cory's awesome. I hadn't talked to him till now, but he did a great job. He was very nervous about coming on, and I think he did a great job. If you guys have any more questions, I'll bother him to check the comments, and we're going to start a new thing. Okay, now that Cory's out, he'll watch the rest of this later, I'm sure. Again, great guy. I hope he had as much fun, well, nobody has as much fun as I do on this show, but I hope he had as much fun as somebody did. We are going to be doing some new things, so we're going to kind of get away from the mystery snack thing. I might do it occasionally as like a special thing, holidays, that kind of thing. We're going to kind of get away from that. We're going to try to focus in a little bit more. I've gotten some feedback from some people that was important to me, some constructive criticism lately that I've been taking in that I asked for. So that was one of the things that was recommended by a lot of people. So, a majority of the people that I asked for criticism. So we're going to get away from that a little bit. We're going to get a little more focused. I think you could tell we stayed a little focused here today. Yeah, I know, Jedi Monkey, you just want to have me eat stuff all the time. Maybe I'll do a separate channel. Like gross food reactions. We're also, you know what? I got to bother him. He promised a surprise and he failed. I'm going to bother him. We're going to find a thing. So anyway, I don't want to out it right now, but he missed something. He got a little too into the discussion. So we're going to fix that. We're going to do, oh my God, what was I going to say? We're going to do some follow-up stuff later. So at the end of episodes, we're going to do some follow-ups to previous episodes. So say you had questions that you didn't get answered about mantises, put them in the comments, and then maybe next week or the week after, it'll probably be 2 weeks, I'll reach out to the guest to get answers for those questions and then address them 2 weeks later at the end. Okay, after we're done with, or I might do a separate thing. I'm not sure yet how that's going to work. But I thought that was a really good idea. I think that was from Wally Kern to do like a follow-up. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. I've talked to a lot of people this week about the show. Good night, Effie. Thanks for coming. Everybody who showed up for, oh my God, for Cory, thank you so much for coming. I hope you had a good time. So yeah, we're going to do follow-ups. We're going to kind of ditch the food thing. We're going to stay focused. We're going to have some pretty focused questions. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it for now. So not too much changing. We're going to be looking for more guests. I'm going to be looking to you guys to see. Put in the comments, what do you guys want to see? We're talking about roaches already. Is there any topic you want to talk about? I'm trying to line up somebody for lychees. We're going to talk to Russ soon about death feigning beetles. Well, it's in April, I guess, so not that soon. And we're also going to be talking to Russ soon about something else that I already forgot. So next week, we are going to have on Dustin. Dustin from Your Water is Crap. We're going to talk to Dustin about aquatic plants. So, and not just shrimp. So we're going to talk about that. Jumping spiders. Effie, I have been in contact and then lost contact with I don't know what they're called, a spiderologist, arachnophile, an arachno, whatever, a spider scientist, and I lost touch with her. I'm going to try to reach out again. There was a lot of stuff going on. She was going through a move or something. Anyway, I was very excited to have her on, and then it kind of dipped out. I'm trying to get back in touch with somebody to talk about falcons. All kinds of stuff. So, what is it? Russ is on the 28th to talk about time management. So, which is important for most of us. So, I got jumpers. Contact the Boop Shop. Luch is coming on at some point to talk about monitors. He's got some pretty awesome monitor setups. Catalanti. Watch some episodes, but have you covered scorpions? I don't. No, we haven't covered scorpions or centipedes. We've tried both of those things. I will try to reach out to somebody about scorpions and see. If you know someone, let me know. If that someone's you, reach out. We're at IsoBuddies at outlook.com, which I promise I'll start checking that email more than once a week. We are on Facebook, IsoBuddies on Facebook, IsoBuddies at Patreon. If you want to support the show, we are at, I think it's still, I tried to change it to IsoBuddies on Instagram, but I think it's still the Boo Bagger at Instagram. I don't really do Instagram, so it's not that big a deal. Thinking about getting a TikTok, I don't know. So I don't think TikTok's where I want to be. We're going to do some shorts too. We're going to do some updates on the 100 gallon. That's coming along slower than I thought. We just did millipedes, Effie, last week. We've done 2 episodes directly about millipedes and 1 about flake soil. So one of our first episodes is millipedes, as a matter of fact. And literally last week, we talked to Kevin Nasser about millipedes. So by all means, go check out some more. Welcome to the show. We're very close to 350 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe now's the time. We're this close to a minor, tiny goal, but we're there. So, yep, millipedes was last week. Great minds think alike, Effie. I'll never be able to say your name right, so I hope if you do stick around, I hope you're okay with me messing with you every week about that wild Greek last name. So, guys, if you know somebody who does centipedes and wants to talk about centipedes, or maybe wants to talk about centipedes, let me know. A lot of these people are real busy right now with shows and stuff, getting ready to do shows this season. So it'll be a little difficult getting people on. But seriously, I have the best audience in the world. My live audience, I could not do better. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your just this support. If you're on Patreon, thank you so much for that support. It shocks me every month that people are so generous and so thoughtful to help. Every penny literally goes back into the show. It's somehow our new lights. Well, they're not new anymore, but the lights, some of the stuff for the 100 gallon, that build video, lots of stuff. So trying to plan trips to go meet up with other YouTubers or to shows and meet people there, to either get new guests or just film some stuff there. So got tons, and Kevin Nasser and Steph from Green Acre Exotics were on here. Yes, they were. Steph was on here. That's right. So stick around, guys. I don't always get to mention you as you come on. I feel bad. Luch and Russ, I kind of missed you guys as you came on, but I try to focus on the guest. But we are at that mark, guys, about an hour and a half. Next week, the after show won't be as wild, but we will talk to you later. I love you guys. Seriously. Best audience ever. Thanks for coming on. And like you said,